Big talk of a Robert Lewandowski hijack for Chelsea Football Club. It has been claimed today that Lewandowski will consider Chelsea. We're going to delve into this story in much more detail and also take a look at Serge Gnabry. As Chelsea Football Club look, of course, for the replacement for Romelu Lukaku, but alternatives to Raphinha, who looks dead set on joining Barcelona. All that and much, much more on the Football Terrace. It is claimed this morning that Chelsea will eye the hijacking of Robert Lewandowski. It says Chelsea have made an audacious move to try and hijack Barcelona's transfer for the Bayern Munich superstar. The 33-year-old marksman is determined to quit the German Giants for a new challenge after shooting them to their 8th title in 10 years. We know that the player has earmarked himself for Barcelona. But as with a number of targets that Barcelona have, there is still a big question mark surrounding, can they afford all of these individuals? The sale of players, the likes of Memphis Depay, of course, Frankie de Jong, where the fee has now been agreed with Manchester United, but will they get the player out the door? Will he stay for a pay cut? And a lot of people are suggesting that actually Frankie de Jong might just decide to stay, get paid his full salary, and say, screw you to Man United and screw you to Barca and take what he's getting paid. Will that therefore impact the volume of signings that teams can make? That's the big question in relation to this. Now, I'm going to give you my thoughts and my feelings, what I've heard. And it's interesting, really, because this is one of those deals where fans hate the phrasing, monitoring the situation, monitoring FC, interested FC, could it happen or not? Chelsea have, of course, made contact with Robert Lewandowski's camp. Robert Lewandowski has a desire to go to Barcelona. Rightly, wrongly, whatever your opinion on that is, it is what it is. But he would like to go to Barcelona. That is his preferred choice. But football isn't always that basic, that binary, that easy. Should Barca fail to sell a few of their players, should something happen that stops them being able to pursue certain targets, maybe they can't afford the fee with Barcelona, with Bayern Munich, maybe they can't afford the wages that Robert Lewandowski is buying. Teams like Chelsea want to be in the best possible place position to be able to sweep in, to be able to pick the individual up. So I don't think Chelsea fans should stress too much that they're eyeing him as an option. Now, of course, if they wait all summer, do no business elsewhere, hoping that things with Lewandowski and Barcelona fall through, that is not a very good process, but that isn't the case as things stand. Now, Ben Jacobs is, of course, got involved in this conversation and said that Robert Lewandowski will consider Chelsea only if his move to Barca falls through. Barca remain confident of finally striking a deal with Barca, who want close to £45 million to be paid up front. Lewandowski has said that he'll wait for Barca. Negotiations stalled, but movement is expected this week. But of course, he does want Barca. He's waiting for Barca. But that won't last forever, because the one true desire that Robert Lewandowski has is leaving Bayern Munich this summer. Chelsea could become an option if Barcelona are not able to get this deal over the line, or if it protrudes and prolongs too much. Now, what's really intriguing is Chelsea are now out looking at alternatives for Raphinha. But even the Raphinha deal has taken another slight turn in the last day or so, which is not really being reported on yet by the mainstream, because most people expect the deal to be complete. However, even Fabrizio Romano last night tweeted and updated everybody and said that the Raphinha leads are still waiting for Barca to submit the official proposal. So the one thing I would say is this. I always say there's no difference between a verbal bid, a proposal, and a bid. But I'm talking in the context of whether or not that was rejected or not. You have to make the official proposal to complete a deal. And 2 to 3 days ago now, Barcelona had their proposal for Raphinha accepted, but they haven't submitted the proposal to be officially reviewed and processed. The verbal agreement has been there, but they still haven't done that. Now, Raphinha remains optimistic. He's been pushing for this. Dzeko's been pushing for this. And there are lots of sources that say it is going to happen. But the point remains that the reason this hasn't happened is because Barca have got to get all their ducks in a row. Now, it could be the sale of Memphis, the sale of Frankie. Once these things start to happen, the Lewandowskis, the Raphinhas, the Bernardo Silvas, as examples, may follow suit. There is still question marks as to whether or not Barca will activate the renewal of Ousmane Dembele's contract if and when Raphinha and the Lewandowskis come in. So let's bring this back to Chelsea Football Club. Why is this important for Chelsea to monitor the situation with Robert Lewandowski? Because things could fall through. Because things could collapse. Because things could end up in a situation where Chelsea are presented with an opportunity that they maybe didn't expect. We've seen this many, many times in the transfer window. Last summer, as an example, Man United did not have Raphael Varane on their wish list. He wasn't on their wish list because nobody expected him to want to leave Real Madrid. When he did say he was leaving Real Madrid, Man United kind of monitored and watched the situation develop. Of course, they spoke to representation, they spoke to the player, but they never went in fully because they didn't want to essentially get egg on their face if he was earmarked to go somewhere else. And for a while, Paris Saint-Germain was thought to be leading that race. But Man United kept their hat in the ring, they kept themselves involved, and when the opportunity presented itself, they stepped in. It's a different set of circumstances, but the exact same process here. Chelsea will just keep talking to the player, talking to his team. There's good connections between Chelsea and the agent of Robert Lewandowski, by the way. There was talks of a deal last summer. The Roman era, Roman Abramovich, very good friends, by the way, with the agent, but Chelsea have got contacts through that. This is a deal that is plausible. This is a deal that could happen. It all depends on Barcelona's financial situation. It really, really does. Remember, we are sponsored by private internet access as well, people. Make sure you're signing up. Another 3 of you did it this morning on this morning show, which is great. Protect your data from hackers. Protect your data from the big tech companies that harvest it and sell it on and make millions and millions of pounds a year out of it. Ensure that you're not, we've all had it. The spam emails, the marketing email. How have I got that? It's because you might click on a button on a certain website, or you go onto a certain company's website and the advertisers take all your data and they sell it on. Make sure you're being protected by using private internet access now. 3 months free available to you. Now, I want to go back to the Gnabry situation as well. So it says that Chelsea are pondering a move here. Matt Law's put this information out. Nick Pillwall has also stated it as well. What's very intriguing about the Gnabry situation is how much this has grown since the Top 6 show last night, 6 p.m. on Monday. We went live with that. But the growth in this story in the space of 12 to 18 hours is massive. Matt Law, Nick Pillwell, as I mentioned. And then there was a report that came out yesterday evening that Serge Gnabry would not consider a move to Chelsea because of his Arsenal connections. Now, this has been quite quickly debunked. Chelsea have seen this story come out and have essentially said, nah, we're still going to pursue. We're still going to look at this deal. We're still going to go out there and try and get this deal done and get it over the line. Now, this is very early stages. And I spoke about this about a week ago on the Terrace, that the early summer deals are nearly all done now. They're all coming to an end. The deals that got the juices pumping, the Raphinhas, the Frankies, the Lissandro Martinezes, Gabriel Jesus, Haaland, of course, the Darwin Núñez. Those early summer transfers are done. What we are now about to embark on is the middle to latter end of the window. Robert Lewandowski's, Serge Gnabry's, as an example, Milinkovic-Savic. There are a number of other deals, Anthony to Manchester United, to name a few. Arsenal's pursuit of Yuri Tillemans. We're now going to move on to a new collection of deals, a new lot of rumors, a new lot of stories, a new lot of fights as the clubs get certain deals sewn up and move on to other targets. And Serge Gnabry now appears to be a player that a number of clubs are going to start to push for. A number of clubs are going to start to push for in this window and look at. The Gnabry news is now coming too thick and too fast. And this is the words from Nick Pillwell on this. He says, Chelsea are thought to remain undeterred by suggestions that Serge Gnabry is not keen on Chelsea's move due to his Arsenal roots. Blues bosses could well test the German forward resolve in respect to in respect in eyeing further forward targets. And I think what Chelsea are doing in this scenario right now is very much saying, right, we're maybe willing to offer you this type of deal, this type of money, this type of status. What are you thinking? If Chelsea get a nibble, then the deal is on. And that's typically how these types of deals work, where you just swimming around, speak to an agent. If we offered 250 grand a week, this shirt number, this position, this kind of bonus to you, what are you saying? If there's a nibble of interest, Chelsea could pursue this. They really, really could. There's too much noise from too many credible people for this Serge Gnabry deal not to be true. Very much the same as Robert Lewandowski. Too many credible journalists talking about it being an option, could happen. Chelsea are monitoring this situation. Keep an eye on Barcelona and their financial situation without a shadow of a doubt. When it comes to Serge Gnabry, I would ignore the Arsenal element right now. I don't think, honestly, if Chelsea Football Club come in for Serge Gnabry, offer him a brilliant deal, an excellent package, I think the Arsenal connection will pale into insignificance. I really do. But until next time, my people, you take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon.